Welcome to the home of the DIY movement, where we build stuff and paint things.
All right, y'all, it's way back Wednesday. We had some good feedback on the last video I did like this with the Black 60 convertible. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was talking about a new project he might be getting, and he said that the thing kind of fell in his lap. And it kind of reminded me of the Silver 64 right here, because this car fell in my lap back in about 2003. So the story behind this was I had literally just gotten back from driving out to Fort Stockton, Texas, which is about 7 hours out, West Texas. And I sold a hardtop 64 to a guy for, I forgot how much. I think it was like 14 grand or 15 grand or something like that. So I'm coming back to the Houston area, and I got money burning a hole in my pocket, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with it. I was probably 22, 23 years old at the time. Never had $15,000 in my pocket. So I logged on to Lay It Low back then, and I had a message from a guy, and it was a pretty interesting message. It was just a private message with a link to eBay, and he said, this one looks like it's in your backyard. And I clicked on it, and it was a Silver 64. It was on eBay, and it was out in Tomball, Texas, which is, northwest side, about an hour out of Houston. And that thing was on eBay for I think the bid was like $6,500 or something back then. It didn't have a buy it now. This was the early days of eBay. So I messaged the guy, and I was like, man, I'm really interested in the car. You want to cancel the auction? And he was like, no, I think I'm going to let it run its course. And I was like, man, I really want to buy the car. Like, can I go look at it right now? This was on a Sunday. And he was like, well, I'm not home. You can come tomorrow. And I was like, well, you don't have to be home. Is the car in the driveway? I'll go look at the car in the driveway. I really want to look at the car. He was like, well, yeah, I guess you could. He gave me his address. And I drove out right then to go look at the car in his driveway, and he wasn't even home. So I drive out there, and I'm like, man, it was original paint, original interior, original top. Needed some rust repair on the lower quarter. So I called when I was there, and I was like, man, I really want to buy this car, man. Would you cancel it? Cancel the eBay auction? He was like, no, I think I'm going to run its course. And I was like, man, I'll give you like $8,000 right now for it. And he was like, no, I think I'm gonna run this course. And I was like, man, would you go 9? I'll come back tomorrow and I'll give you 9. And he was like, you'll give me 9? I was like, yep, 9 grand cash. So he's like, okay, come back tomorrow. So I'm like, okay. So the next day was Monday, and I called in sick to work that day so that I can go buy this car. So if I remember right, I think my dad also called in sick so that he can go with me to buy this car. And we showed up and looked at the car again, and the guy said that his daughter, who was going to high school, didn't want to drive the 64 to high school, so he was trying to get rid of it so he could buy her a Honda Civic. And I was like, man, all right. So man, paid him 9 grand and drove that thing home from Tomball, an hour to Southwest Houston. Man, thing ran like a champ. So unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of the day that I bought it. I might have some old Polaroids or something, but it was a good car, man. And that's original. What you see in this picture right here, that's original seats, original top boot, original glass, all original trim. Just need a little bit of lower quarter patch. And at the time, man, a friend of mine, his girlfriend's dad worked at a Yellow Cab, which I think they closed down, went out of business. And he was a paint and body guy. And he repaired the lower quarter and painted the whole car for $1,200. And then he actually wet sand and buffed the whole car for me for an extra $200, man. So a $1,400 paint job, which is nuts. But man, what a bargain. Here's the car after we installed the hydraulics, which was another bargain on that because the hardtop that I sold before this was my first install. So I was like, man, I know how to install hydraulics now. I don't got to pay nobody. So we installed that. Had some Daytons for it, and this was actually in San Antonio in 2006. Took it to San Antonio out there, Lowrider magazine show. Forgot what I got. I won something, but I don't even remember. It might have been second place or something like that. It wasn't a big trophy, let's just put it like that. And I towed it all the way home, 3 hours with the top down. You know, so after driving it around a little bit or whatnot, I kind of had the itch to upgrade, so I went ahead and got some suspension chrome plated. This picture right here, guys, this is almost 20 years ago, but had that chrome rear end. I remember Shorty narrowed the Shorty's hydraulics in Houston. I don't know if he's watching this or not, probably not, but he narrowed the rear end for me. I think he said that was the first one he's done. Custom wishbone that his son John did, and we got it all back from chrome. And this is in my friend's two-car garage, man. We painted the frame with paintbrushes and painted the belly, the floors and stuff with paintbrushes in black, man. So, you know, super excited, man. Like, you know, I was 25 years old at the time or whatever, and had chrome rear end on the 64 rag. Here's a picture at my friend's house before we actually installed this stuff. And, you know, looking back at this picture here 20 years ago, man, there's a lot of things I would do differently that I don't do today. Right off the bat, man, the heater core fan box thing that's in the grass there, I wouldn't chrome that. I wouldn't chrome backing plates. I wouldn't chrome drums. You know, I wouldn't chrome e-brake cable stuff. Just, you know, just do things differently, man. Learned with trial and error, but, you know, that car had full chrome undercarriage, or suspension, I should say, rear end, all front suspension, linkage. You know, we did it. I think this chrome batch right here at the time was like $5 grand, and it was triple chrome, man. That was show quality chrome, show quality stuff, man. With Fidel out of Houston. Here's the engine shot. You know, like I say, man, I do things a lot differently these days, but, you know, looking at this picture right here, man, it's got a cool points and condenser ignition. It's got a cute little 2-barrel chrome fan shroud. You know, I wouldn't do that today. You know, just do things differently, man. But I remember when we got all this put together and trying to get it running. I think it was like 2 days before the Houston Lowrider magazine show in 06. And man, the thing, you know, put it all back together. I pulled the motor out, painted the firewall and wheel wells, had them do all that. And man, the thing wouldn't start, man. It just, we messed with it in that garage for hours, man. And went inside, and I think, if I remember right, my dad flipped the distributor 180 degrees, and man, thing fired right up. So that was the first time I learned that was a thing. If you have your distributor in there backwards, it ain't gonna start. It ain't never gonna start. It's just gonna, you know, backfire and blow fumes and smoke and everything else. But man, thing fired right up. It was amazing. Here's a couple shots of the car once it was put together before that Houston show, man. I had it pinstriped. I remember I had a guy come out to the house, Nuclear Designs. He used to do 3-color pinstripe for $125 back then, man. So you pick 3 colors for your car. Simple stuff. Just put it on top of the clear, you know. Paid him $125 to come out and pinstripe it. Car had 72-spoke Daytons. Original chrome bumpers. All the trim was original, just cleaned it up. That's an original top. Ran the rockers on it, 62 rockers. Had the skirts with the rear end narrowed, so, you know, the wheels didn't rub. It's a good car. And here's the car locked up in the back. I think it had 10s, probably 10s. I think it had 8s and 10s, 8s in the fronts, 10s in the back. Had that wishbone with that chrome rear end. Like I say, man, this was an 06, 20 years ago. And man, that car ran really good, man. 4-wheel drum brakes with that little 283 and a little power glide that I usually make fun of now. Man, the car ran good, man. It was a good car. Here's a picture at the house I grew up in. Laid out in the back. I think that was all the way down in the back. Had dual antennas. The little chrome in the front with the painted wheel wells. Man, that was a really good car, man, that I got at a bargain, like $9 grand. And you just drive it home on the highway like nothing. Man, them deals, I mean, they're still out there, but probably not for $9 grand. I think kind of the internet, social media kind of killed the ability to find such a good car, at a good price back then. Now if it's on social media, and it's a deal, it's gone before you can even get there. Or sometimes it's already sold and they're trying to sell it or advertise like they sold it for more so they can, inflate the market. Here's another picture. I remember I took it around the block a few times and drove it home, and the old man was out there in the garage. He's still kicking 19 years later. No longer in that house though, but this is a nice picture. Man, that was a good car, man. All original trunk, doors, hood, fenders, everything fit really good. Should have never sold it. Here it is, set up at the 2006 Houston Lowrider magazine show. That was basically what I had it all chromed out for, man. And I made it, drove it there, drove it home, and I think I got 3rd place traditional best of show. And out of all the car shows and cars that I've had, that's the only trophy that I actually kept, because it's like a 4-foot trophy. So I did pretty good there, and that's end up selling the car after that. Here it is, the day I sold it, man. I remember I took it out to Phoenix. Me and 2 of my friends, or 3 of my friends, drove out to Phoenix to go meet this guy. I think he was from Sacramento. So we met him halfway, or close to halfway in Phoenix. And I sold him the car, man. Sold it for, I believe, $28,000. So got all my money back, made a little bit of money, had fun. It was a damn good car. I believe he kept it the same way for a number of years. And last I heard, it's still in the area, but it's been totally redone. Same color combination, but it's all painted underneath and all re-chromed out. It's a full-blown turntable show car now. But man, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have plenty of pictures and plenty of cars to talk about. If you guys find this stuff interesting, leave a comment. We can keep it going. Y'all stay tuned for more work, and thanks for watching.